Right, when in Texas for breakfast, brunch, or even lunch, or even dinner, trust me, steak and eggs.
You completely agree with Gordon Ramsay. You want a 5-star steak in your own kitchen, and you expect it to be simple. But it is not. You buy the same cut, prime ribeye. You season it the same way. Salt, pepper, maybe a little garlic. You cook it the same time, flip it once, let it rest. And somehow, it still does not taste like the one you had at that steakhouse last weekend. Most people blame themselves. Not enough practice, not the right technique. Maybe the restaurant just has better beef. But here is something that might surprise you. The difference between your steak and theirs has almost nothing to do with skill. It has everything to do with 3 things they will never put on the menu. And once you understand what those 3 things are, you can close that gap tonight. Let us start with the most obvious one: heat. A typical home stove burner produces around 7,000 to 12,000 BTUs. That is British thermal units, the standard measure of heat output. Your high-end home range might push 18,000 on its hottest burner. Sounds powerful. Now compare that to a commercial kitchen. Restaurant burners run between 25,000 and 35,000 BTUs. That is roughly 3 times the heat of your home stove. But the real secret is not even on the stovetop. It is above it. Most steakhouses use something called a salamander broiler. These infrared units reach temperatures of 800 degrees Celsius. Some go even higher, around 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the kind of heat that creates a crust in seconds, not minutes. The Maillard reaction, the chemical process that turns meat golden brown and delicious, begins around 140 degrees Celsius. But it works best between 165 and 200 degrees. The hotter your surface, the faster that crust forms. And the faster it forms, the less time the interior has to overcook. This is why steakhouse steaks have that perfect sear with a pink center from edge to edge. Your pan simply cannot get hot enough fast enough. Here is the thing nobody tells you about restaurant kitchens. They do not season their steaks right before cooking. They salt them hours, sometimes days, in advance. This technique is called dry brining, and it changes everything. When salt touches raw meat, something interesting happens. The crystals draw moisture to the surface. You can see tiny droplets appear within 10 to 20 minutes. Then the salt dissolves into that liquid, creating a concentrated brine. Over the next few hours, that brine gets reabsorbed back into the meat through a process called diffusion. The result is not just surface seasoning. The salt penetrates deep into the muscle fibers. It also denatures the proteins, loosening the tight bundles and making each bite more tender. Most restaurants dry brine for at least 1 hour per pound of meat. Some premium steakhouses let their cuts sit uncovered in the refrigerator for up to 72 hours. But there is another benefit. That extended time in the fridge dries out the surface of the steak. And a dry surface is critical for a good sear. Water is the enemy of the Maillard reaction. If your steak is wet, you are steaming it, not searing it. The heat has to evaporate all that moisture before browning can even begin. This is why restaurant steaks get that crackling crust, while yours stays gray and soft. The third secret is the one that sounds almost wasteful: butter, and not a small amount. Professional kitchens use between 30 and 60 grams of butter per steak. That is roughly 1/4 to half a stick. They add it toward the end of cooking, along with crushed garlic, fresh thyme, and rosemary. Then they tilt the pan and continuously spoon that bubbling aromatic butter over the meat for 2 to 3 minutes straight. This is called basting, and it does 3 things at once. First, the hot fat transfers heat more efficiently than air. It fills every gap between the pan and the meat, ensuring even browning. Second, The aromatics infuse directly into the crust. You are building flavor into the meat, not just on top. Third, the butter contains milk solids that undergo their own Maillard reaction, adding nutty caramelized depth. Here is where it gets interesting. Most home cooks add butter too early. It burns before the steak is done, creating bitter flavors. Restaurants wait until the steak is within 5 degrees of target temperature. Then the butter goes in. Timing is everything. Here is where the story flips. There is one more step that most people skip entirely: resting. When a steak cooks, muscle fibers contract and squeeze juice toward the center. Cut into it immediately, and those juices pour onto your plate instead of staying in the meat. 5 to 10 minutes is all you need. The fibers relax, pressure drops, and temperature rises another 3 to 5 degrees through carryover cooking. This is why chefs pull steaks off the heat slightly early. The rest finishes the job. So what can you actually do at home? Start with the dry brine. Salt your steak generously on both sides, about half a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound. Place it on a wire rack over a plate and refrigerate uncovered. Minimum 45 minutes, ideally overnight. The longer it sits, the deeper the seasoning goes. 30 minutes before cooking, take the steak out. Let it come to room temperature. This helps it cook more evenly. Get your pan screaming hot. Cast iron works best because it holds heat when the cold steak hits it. Preheat it for at least 5 minutes on high. Add a high smoke point oil like avocado or grapeseed. When you see the first wisps of smoke, the steak goes in. Sear each side for 2 to 3 minutes. When the internal temperature reaches around 49 degrees Celsius for medium rare, add the butter, garlic, and herbs. Tilt the pan. Baste continuously for another 2 minutes. Then remove the steak, place it on a rack, and do not touch it for 5 to 7 minutes. One more thing. Skip the aluminum foil. It traps steam and ruins your crust. The next time you order a $200 steak, remember this: you are not paying for magic. You are paying for heat, time, and technique that anyone can learn. That is the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there is something you would like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.